Hello guys, welcome back to the VDC space. So today we're gonna be building a catalog or a family library for bridge piers. So we're gonna model uh, 10 different types of bridge piers, store them into a single Revit template, and we are basically building a library so that for future tutorials whereby we construct an entire bridge, we can just pull in those families into our project. So we are saving time, and also we are building something that is sustainable for future projects. Now, before I get started, I would like to ask you guys to please subscribe if you're new. If you're already subscribed, thank you, and hit that notification button because I upload BIM modeling tutorials 3 times every week. I also cover different topics, as you can see on my playlist, and also I upload membership videos during the weekend, which consist of much more advanced and much more exciting projects. So, without further ado, let's start with our project. So here we are in Revit 24. So we're gonna start with the first pier. So you're gonna go to new and metric generic model and say open. So after this, obviously we're gonna have to set up our reference planes and also our parameters. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna place one reference plane on each side and offset this one by, let's say, 6,000. This one also is going to be 6,000. So when I go to the front elevation, I'm going to go to create again reference plane. I'm going to place one horizontally like this, and the height I'm just going to make it 8,000. And I'm going to copy another one to the top by further. Let's make it 2,000. No, let's make it 1,500 millimeters. So let me just extend these. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start with my head. So in order for me to do that, let me just go to the reference level. I'm gonna place another reference planes on my floor plan. This one on each side. So this one I'm gonna offset it by 500 millimeters, and also this one by 500 millimeters. So I'm gonna go to the front elevation, say create extrusion, and I'm gonna start from this point, and I'm just gonna take it down diagonally at 135 degrees by 900, actually by 1,000, and then bring it like this, and take this to, actually, let's just cancel this. So I'm gonna take it to the left diagonally by, say, 2,000 at 165 degrees, and then bring it like that. So I think 165 is too steep. Let's make it 150 at 1.5. Yeah, I think that's perfect. So I'm gonna bring it like this. And then our pier shafts, basically our columns are gonna be let's make them 2,000. So I'm gonna bring this at 1,000 millimeters, 30 degrees. I'm gonna place it like that, and I'm just gonna place it right in the middle like this. So I'm gonna select all these lines, mirror them towards the other side. Let's remove this line. I want to make this a single line, and I'm just gonna there and then towards there. So this is basically how it looks. So I'm gonna say finish, go to the reference level, and press VR. I'm gonna set this to unlimited and set the entire cut plane to 15,000 millimeters. Apply and then OK. Now I'm gonna select this extrusion, attach it towards this reference plane, lock it, attach this towards this reference plane, and then lock it like that. Perfect. So the next thing is I'm gonna go to um, I'm gonna go to the front elevation. So on the front elevation, I'm gonna go to create and say sweep, and I'm just gonna say sketch path. I'm gonna place it right there. So I'm gonna place it like that. it like that, and then I'm gonna say finish edit mode, say edit profile, and then open up the floor plan, and then I'm just gonna draw my pier shafts, basically my columns, place them like this. They're gonna have a radius of 500 and obviously the diameter of 1,000. So I'm gonna say finish edit mode, finish edit. This is how it looks. So I'm just gonna attach it towards the reference plane, lock it, attach the two extrusions against each. So I'm gonna mirror this towards the other side, do the same thing, attach it, place it like that, attach the two extrusions against each other. So if I open up the 3D view, this is basically how it looks. So I'm gonna select the entire thing and then apply the material. So obviously I'm gonna type in concrete and scroll down. So if I scroll down, I'm gonna go with concrete cast in situ and say apply and then okay. So this is basically how it looks. So what I'm gonna do, let's just extend the middle reference plane, take some dimensions from there to there, and let's just increase the scale and some another two of these, make them equal. And for the height, I'm gonna place one like this. And for the pier head, I'm gonna place one like that. Go to the reference level, the floor plan, place one like this. Let's just increase the scale, place one that is equal, make them equal, and also do the same thing this side for the pier head, and then make them equal. So let's start with this one. So this one is going to be the pier head. So we are creating parameters. This is the pier head length. Say okay, lock it, and this one is going to be pier head width. Lock it, and then go to the front elevation, and same thing. We're going to apply the pier head width for this one. So it's over constrained. So I'm just gonna cancel this one. So I think it's fine. This one, I'm going to select it, make it pier head depth. Let's say okay, and then lock it. And then this one, I'm going to say pier shaft. Say okay, and then lock it. Perfect. So this is the first one that you've created. So let's save it. We are not going to use usability parameters for this one. So we're just going to leave it like that. And bridge pier. So I'm gonna name this pier 01 and say save. So I'm gonna close it down and I'm gonna go to the second one. So the second one, we're gonna use the metric generic model again and say okay. So the first thing is let's just go to the front elevation. Reference plane, I'm gonna place one horizontally like this, and I'm gonna change its height. I'm gonna make its height to 8,000 for the pier shaft. Then I'm gonna place two reference planes on each side. So this one I'm gonna offset it by 6,000 again, and then this one is gonna be 6,000 again. Okay, so after this, I'm gonna copy this one further and make it. So I'm gonna make this one 1,000 and then this one 500. Okay, so after this, I'm just gonna go to reference level, place some reference planes on each side for our pier shaft. Offset this one by, let's say, 600. This one also by 600. And then this side, I think we can make it 800. Let's make it 1.2, and then this side also 1.2. Perfect. So I'm gonna place a random in extrusion using a rectangle. So I'm gonna place it like that, and I'm just gonna lock it on all the sides. So finish edit mode, go to the front elevation. I'm gonna attach it towards the top and then lock it. Perfect. So For our peer head, it's going to be much different. So I'm going to go to create and say swap the blend for two profiles and say sketchpad. I'm going to place it from this point to this point, and I'm just going to lock the two. So I'm going to say finish edit mode, say select profile one, edit profile, go to the floor plan. So after this, for profile one, I'm just going to place it exactly as my pure shaft. They're going to have the same dimensions. Lock it, say finish edit mode, and select profile two, edit profile. I'm going to place another random rectangle like this, but this time I'm just going to offset it on each side. So this side, I'm going to offset it and make it 6,000, obviously, and also this. So in total, it's going to be 12,000 millimeters. And also this side, this one, I'm going to offset it by, let's make it 800, and in total, it's going to be 1,600. Perfect. So if I go to the 3D view and say finish edit mode, it's going to be looking. Okay, so the next thing is we're gonna go to reference level. Let's just press VR, set this to unlimited, set this to 15,000 so that you can so that you can see the entire family. And then you're gonna say create extrusion. You're gonna place a just make sure you lock it, and then say finish. Go to the front elevation. You're gonna attach this towards the top, lock it, attach this towards the top of this part, and then lock it. So what you're gonna do is let's just this part we have to lock it against this reference plane. So lock it, and then we're gonna lock the extrusions against each other. So we're gonna do the same thing with this one. There you go. So if I go to the 3D view, this is essentially how it looks. So I'm just going to change this to concrete. Custom C2, apply, and then OK. So I'm going to change this to realistic and fine, and this is essentially how. So you can just apply your parameters. Scale to 1:100. These ones make them equal, and for this is for the pier shaft. So let's start with the pier shaft. For the pier shaft is going to be pier shaft width. Say OK, and then lock it. And then this one is going to be pier shaft length. Say OK, and then lock it. And then this one is going to be head width. Say OK, and then lock it. If you go to the if you go to the reference level, we can just place two reference planes on each side. Let's just lock this, then lock this. So I'm gonna say equal, and then this one is gonna be pier head length. Say OK, and then lock it. Perfect. So this is how it looks. Now we're gonna save this one. This is gonna be pier 2. C space pier 2. Say save. So I'm gonna close this down. I'm gonna go to our third pier. It's gonna have a hammerhead. So we're gonna use the same metric generic model and say open. Okay, so we're gonna start with our reference planes. Pier shaft. I'm gonna place it like that. Place it. So This one is going to be 1.5. This one is going to be, so this one also 1.5. This one, we're going to offset it by 600. This one also by, actually, let's make it 800. And then this one, 800. Okay, so if I go to the front elevation, I'm going to say create reference plane, place a horizontal reference plane like this. So I'm going to offset this one by the same. I'm going to make it 8,000. Actually, let's make it 6,000. And I'm going to, for our hammerhead, our pier head, I'm going to make it, going to make it 2,000. So for our pier head, I'm going to offset each side by, just extend this middle reference plane. So I'm going to offset this side by 1,000. This one, actually, let's make it 6,000. I think it's fine at 6,000. So it's going to be 6,000, 6,000. Okay, so this is essentially going to be our, let's just change this. This is going to be for our pier head width. And if I go to the reference level, I'm going to say, just change this to unlimited, 15,000, apply. So for our pier, our hammerhead is going to be the same. So yeah, it's fine. So I'm going to go to, while I'm staying in the floor plan, I'm going to select my extrusion, select my rectangle, place it like that, lock it. But this time it's going to be different. What I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some aesthetics. I took this from some of the Middle East projects. So let me just offset this by 100, 600 this side, and I'm going to mirror this side, this one to the other side. So let's just remove this and join it as a single one. So what I'm going to do is each of these, I'm just going to offset them. Let me just press SL for slice, and I'm just going to slice these, remove this line, and I'm just going to add some extrusions, some sweeps. So I'm going to set this by 100. Select this block, and then I'm just going to set it by 200. So let's remove this. Actually, this is fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press SL for slice, and then I'm just going to slice on these points. Slice using these points. And I'm just going to say Control, select these lines, and these lines. And I'm just going to remove them. So this is how it looks. Let's say undo. Yes. So this is how it looks. So what I'm gonna do is, okay, let's just select these. So I'm just gonna center this one, move it like that, and place it like this. So this one I'm gonna offset it, make it 100 millimeters, and also this one I'm gonna make it 100 millimeters this side. Yeah. So I'm gonna select these pickaxes, mirror them towards the other side. So I'm just gonna remove this line, and then connect this one like that, and lock it, and then connect this one like that, and then lock it. So I'm going to say finish edit mode, go to the front elevation, I'm going to drag this towards the top, and then lock it like that. And if I go to the 3D view, this is essentially how it looks. So I'm going to go to the front elevation. So our pier shaft, our pier head is going to be simple. So I'm gonna go to extrusion, start from this point and then place it like that. So at an angle of perhaps 170. Yeah, we can place it like that. I'm gonna place it like this, like that, and then select these two, mirror them towards the other side. So I'm gonna say finish edit mode, go to reference level, I'm gonna attach it towards this side, lock it, attach it towards the side, and then lock it. And I'm just gonna lock it against these reference plane. So you guys can create your own parameters from this. And I want to make it short, so we're gonna move to the next pier. So you can just apply your material, load it in, apply OK, change this to realistic, and this is how it looks. Okay, so dimension that. So for our pier depth, pier shaft depth, and our you guys can apply your own parameters you saw it from the previous PS that we have created. So I'm just gonna save this family. This one is gonna be pier number 3 and say save. I'm just gonna exit that. Okay, so pier number 4. I'm gonna go to metric generic model. This one we just gonna let's go to the front elevation. Place another one like this horizontally. So the height of this, I'm gonna make it 6,000 millimeters. And just what I'm gonna do is let me just copy this by 100, another 100. So it's gonna be 4. So I'm gonna copy it by further another 100. So 1, 2, 3, and then fourth 100. There you go. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna let's start with our pier head. So I'm gonna place some two random reference planes on each side, and I'm gonna offset it. Offset this one by 6,000 this side, and then this one also by 6,000 this side. And let's just copy another one by, let's say, so I'm gonna copy 3 of them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna apply a dimension to this. And I'm gonna make them equal. So I'm gonna select them and mirror them towards the other side. And let's just remove this. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to reference level, press VR for view range, set this to unlimited, and set this to 15,000 and then OK. And we're gonna place one reference plane on each side, and we're gonna offset this one by 600 and also this one by 600 this side. Let's just extend the middle reference plane just so we can know the distinction. And from this point, actually, let's make it 350 this side and also this side. Okay, so I'm gonna say create and say extrusion, and then I'm gonna place my first extrusion like this, and I'm gonna finish edit mode, go to the front elevation. I'm gonna drag this towards the top, place it like that, and then lock it, and then place it towards this bottom reference plane. So I'm gonna go to reference level again, and I'm gonna place another one. Or actually, we can just copy this one. So I'm just gonna copy this one towards this point and drag it towards this point, lock it, go to the front elevation, select it, and then I'm gonna drop it by one reference plane and then lock it like this. So I'm gonna copy this one to the other side, drop it by one reference plane. I hope you can see the logic, and then copy this one towards this side, but this one is gonna be different. I'm gonna say edit, and I'm just gonna add starting radius arc. at the end, place it like that, remove this line, select this one, and I'm just gonna nudge it right side and place it like that. The finish edit mode. So if I go to the 3D view, that's essentially how it looks. And if I go to the front elevation, I'm gonna drop this one by one reference plane. So I'm gonna select all these, the three of these extrusions, mirror them towards the other side, and this is how it. So I'm gonna go to the reference level, and so this is 1.5, 1.5. So I'm just gonna copy this by 750, and then mirror them towards the other side. So this is gonna guide us. We're gonna place. Let's see how many we're gonna place. So we're gonna place five piers, 5 pier shafts. So I'm gonna say create extrusion. I'm gonna go circle, place it like that. It's gonna be 350. Or I'm gonna make it 300. Say finish edit mode, and then drag it towards the top, lock it, bottom, place it like that. So what I'm gonna do is, in this instance, I'm gonna select it, copy this towards the other side by, let's say, 2000, and by another, or let's make it 2.5. So I'm gonna select this, copy it by 5, and then by 2. Take these two, mirror them towards the other side. And this is how it looks. So the pier head, as you can see, it's not the depth is not that efficient. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna increase these offsets. So I'm gonna make this, say, 1000. This one I'm gonna make, this one I'm gonna make 800. It, this one I'm gonna make 600. Top, and then rocket the top, and then rocket. Or I think you can stick to the offset of 100. So I'm gonna make this one 900, this one 800, and then this one is gonna have an offset of 700. Let's just drag this towards the top and then lock it. So if I go to the 3D view, this is how it looks. Yeah, now it's much more efficient. So you're gonna select the entire geometry, and you're gonna type in concrete. You're gonna load this in, apply, and then OK. Change this to realistic, and this is how it looks. So we're gonna save this as pier number 4. This is gonna be pier number 4, and we're gonna close this down. The next thing is we're gonna create pier number 5, which is mostly used for tall bridges, rail bridges. I once saw them. I got this example from one of the bridges built in China, and thought I should do it. So we're gonna start at the front elevation. So reference plane. We're gonna start with our first offset. It's gonna have an offset of 5,000. Then we're gonna offset this by let's make it 1,000, and then another further 5,000, 1,000 again, and then another 5,000. This one, our pier head is gonna be, let's make it 2,000. So let's just extend this, lock it again, just extend these reference planes. Yeah, I think it's fine. So the next thing, so the next thing is we're gonna place our geometry. But before we do that, I think let's just place two reference planes on each side when we are in the front elevation. So we're gonna offset this one by, let's make it 5005, 500, 5500, and I'm gonna go to create and say extrusion. I'm gonna place a block on this part. Just lock everything up. Say finish edit mode, and I'm just gonna copy this towards this one, and then I'm gonna leave it like that. So let's just uh, side so that when you apply your parameters, these can be affected. So if I go to the front elevation, I'm gonna set this to VR unlimited. Set this offset to 25,000 millimeters, apply, and then OK. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place two reference planes on each side, one on each side. So this one, we're gonna offset it from the middle by, let's say, 600. So this one by 600. So I'm gonna drag this extrusion to the left, lock it, this one to the left, and that one to the top, or whatever, and then lock it. Do the same thing for this one, lock it, and then same thing for this one. So if we go to the 3D view, this is how it looks so far. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place some extrusions. So let's say create and say extrusion. So I'm gonna place one right in the middle like this. So it's gonna have a radius of 400 millimeters and say finish edit mode. Go to the front elevation. So you're gonna drag it towards the top and then lock it. But you're gonna have to move it. So I'm gonna move it right to the end like this. Select it and then mirror it towards the other side. So I'm gonna select these two, copy and constrain, and then I'm gonna copy them to the top and then towards the top like this. So if you go to the 3D view, this is how it looks. So um, what we can do is we can just increase the radius of these. So I'm gonna select this one and change the radius to 600. Just nudge it right inside and say finish. Mirror it towards the other side, select the two of them, copy and constrain, and then I'm just gonna copy. Perfect. Now for your pier head, you're gonna say create and say extrusion. We can start from this point, go to the left by 5.5, diagonally at 2000 millimeters at 150 degrees. And then you can take this to the top by, let's say 2000, take it to the right by 1000, take it down by 1000, and then bring it back like this. Select this, mirror it towards the other side, remove these two lines, and just join it as a single line like this so that it makes it easier when you want to apply your parameters and move it. So you're going to say finish edit mode, go to the reference level, drag this towards this side, lock it, drag this towards this side, and then lock it. Open up the 3D view, and this is how it looks. So you're going to change this to realistic, and then select your entire pier, and then apply the material towards this. Say load it in, apply, and say OK, and this is how it. So this is gonna be pier number 5. So 5 more to go. So pier number 5 and say save. Close this down. And for pier number 5, I'm gonna go to new and say metric generic model again and say open. Go to the front elevation, place another reference plane on top. So this one, I'm gonna offset it by 6,000 millimeters. Select this one and then copy it by, let's make it 500, and then this one by 300. So let's just extend this middle reference plane and then lock it. Go to the reference level, create some reference planes, one on each side. So this one I'm gonna offset it by 600, this one by 600, and then this one is gonna be by 300, this one is gonna be by 300. So I'm gonna say create and say extrusion. So I'm gonna place my lines, lock them against the reference planes, say finish edit mode, go to the front elevation, drag it towards the top, and then lock it. Then I'm gonna go to create and say swap blend for two profiles. Place my path like this, and then lock it, say finish edit mode, select profile 1, edit profile, go to my floor plan, place it like this, it, say finish edit mode, profile 2, and say edit profile, and then I'm going to place another one like this. So this one, I'm going to offset it from this point by, let's say, 250, 300. Also this one by 100 this side. This one also by 100 this side. So all the sides you're going to offset it by 100. When you go to the 3D and say finish edit mode, this is how it looks. I think you can increase the offset. So select profile 2 again, edit profile, go to reference level. So I'm going to offset this one by 100. This side also by 200. So if I go to 3D, let's say finish edit mode, and this is how it looks. So I'm gonna go to the front elevation again, create swap blend for two profiles, place another one on top like this, lock it, say finish, go to select profile 1, say edit, open up the floor plan, and then let's just set our view range so that you can see the entire structure. So you can set your cutting to 25,000 millimeters and start using this as your reference, the top part of this extrusion as your reference. Say finish, profile 2, edit profile, and then floor plan. And this one, you're gonna offset it within, so you can just place it like this. It will actually detect the midpoint of these diagonal lines of the extrusion, so you can use those as your points to place a rectangle at the top. And you can just say finish edit mode, and this is how it looks. So you can select this, apply material, and down, load in, custom C2, apply, okay, change this to realistic, and this is how it looks. So I'm gonna save this. So this is my pier number 6 and say save. Okay, so pier number 7. This time we're gonna use adaptive, metric generic model adaptive, and say open. And we're gonna go to the front elevation and place a reference, horizontal reference. Set the offset to 8,000 millimeters, and we're gonna copy another one by, let's say, 2,000 millimeters. Go to the reference level, place our circle. So our circle is gonna have a radius of, say, 800. So you're gonna select that profile, create form, and then you're gonna drag that form towards this reference plane and then lock it. Okay, so after this, you're gonna go to reference level again, and just go back to the front elevation, and then move this reference plane to top of pier, head, say enter, and then go to reference level again. Select your circle, and you can just place your placement when you set this reference point that you just created, and you can just place this on top and make it a radius of 1,500. So you're gonna select these two profiles and this one, create form. So you're gonna select this form and say add profile. You're gonna add another profile. So this profile, let's see. Okay, now let's remove this. If you increase this, let's say make it 5,000. No, let's remove this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to reference level, press VR for view range, set this to unlimited, set that also to 15,000, apply and OK. So I'm gonna select the rectangle, set your reference plane to the one we've created. You're gonna place it like that. So this side, you can offset it by 2.5, and it's gonna be 5,000 in total. This one, you can offset it by 1.5. So in total, it's gonna be 10,000 millimeters. So we go to the 3D view, select this profile and this one, so create your form, and your form is gonna be set like this. So when you go to, you can select also this profile and say create your form, and you're gonna have another pier head. So this one, you can make it 1,000 millimeters, and this is how it looks. Actually, let's make it 500. This is how it looks. So you're gonna select the entire thing, filter, check none, generic model, and you're gonna change the material, type in concrete, and you're gonna scroll down, name it concrete, custom case, apply, and then OK, change this to realistic, and this is how it looks. Okay, so I'm gonna save this as my pier. This is pier number 7. Okay, so the other piers I had are pretty much redundant, so they are sort of like the same in terms of geometry. So in total, we are gonna model 8 of them. So this is the last pier I'm gonna do right now. So we're gonna go to generic model. So I see these piers are mostly done in Saudi Arabia, so very much interesting for data bridges. So we're gonna go to the front elevation, reference plane, place another horizontal reference plane, set this one by 6,000 millimeters, and we're gonna copy another one by, let's make it 800, and then this one 500, and then this one another 500. Okay, so we're gonna start with our pier head. So we're gonna place 2 random reference planes, one on each side. Let's just extend this and then lock it. Okay, this one we're gonna offset it by let's say 6,000. Let's make it 5,000 actually. This one also by 5,000. So I'm gonna say create and say swept blend sketch path. Place it right there, lock it. Say finish edit mode. Select profile 1, edit profile, open up my floor plan. So I'm gonna press VR, set all of them to unlimited, my cut into 15,000 millimeters, apply, and then OK. So I'm gonna place random rectangle and offset it this side by let's say 600, and then in total it's going to be 1000. Say finish edit mode and say select profile 2, and actually just go back to profile 1. Profile 1, we're going to offset it by so profile 1, this side we're going to offset it by, yeah, I think it's fine at 4000, so in total it's going to be 8000 millimeters. And then profile 2, it's going to be much bigger, and it's going to have the same offset this side, so 600, and then 2, and so it's fine like this. So if you go to the 3D view and say finish edit mode, this is how it. So I'm gonna go to reference level again, say create and say extrusion, place another extrusion on top like this, and just make sure you lock it, and go to front elevation. You're gonna drag this towards the top and then lock it, drag this towards there and then lock it. Perfect. Okay, so the next thing is you're gonna place some walls on each side. So go to reference level and say create and say extrusion. I'm just gonna place these walls using rectangle and have a thickness of 300 millimeters. And just gonna mirror this line to the other side. Go to the front elevation, say finish. I'm gonna drag it towards this point, lock it, drag it towards this point, and also lock it. So I'm just gonna increase this, make it 700, and yeah, this is essentially what it looks like. So the next thing is I'm just gonna go to the front elevation. So on the front elevation, I'm gonna place my pier shaft, go to extrusion, circle, and then we're gonna place it at, so they're gonna have a radius of 400 millimeters. I think it's fine. Say finish, go to the front elevation, we're gonna drag it towards this point, lock it, and then select it, and then we're gonna copy it towards the other side. So I'm gonna offset it by 2.5 this side, and then it's gonna. So if you go to the 3D view, this is how it looks. So you're gonna select it, apply material, type in concrete, same, apply, and then okay. So change this to realistic, and this is how it looks. So yeah, that's essentially it. We did 8 of Bridge Piers, so I think it's enough for upcoming tutorials. It saves much more time so that we don't generate families from the beginning while we are doing an entire bridge. So this will save much more time. Thank you guys for watching. Please try to apply parameters on your own. I think you learn much more if you do it. I showed you for the first 3 how you can do that. And yeah, just let me know how you are progressing when it comes to that. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. And make sure you join my membership. I have very much interesting tutorials right there that you can benefit from. And I've created a single tier. It no longer has 4 membership tiers, but only 1. So it's pretty much cheaper and much more convenient for you guys. Peace.